Welcome to the Smart Weight Loss Coaching Podcast. I'm Dr. Lisa Olson, a board-certified weight loss medicine specialist and certified life coach. In this podcast, I'll share fresh insights and effective techniques for incorporating mindset, habit change, and proven science into your life. Are you ready to achieve sustainable weight loss, wellness, and longevity? Then let's jump in and lose weight the smart way. Welcome back. I have a client, her name is Tina, who goes out of town for work in an area that she and I have been jokingly calling a vegetable desert. You might have heard the term food desert. The CDC says a food desert is an area, often it's an urban area, where people don't have access to healthy and affordable food. So you can imagine a vegetable desert is just an extension of that. Not only are there not many healthful or affordable foods, but also it's really tough to find a vegetable. Tina has lost about 70 pounds since we started working together. And she's told me, as a side note, that maintenance has actually turned out to be harder than weight loss. This is something I hear from people pretty often. There is something about the excitement and motivation when you first double down and really start to see progress with weight loss, especially when you lose enough that other people notice it too, or that you have to buy clothes in a smaller size. So that felt really fun and exciting. But now Tina is in the situation where she's in maintenance, working just as hard, maybe harder, and not getting that reward of going to a newer size or having other people notice for the first time how healthy she looks. When I spoke with Tina this week, we started brainstorming ideas for food while traveling because she's often stuck in a sea of fast food restaurants. Recently, she tried to order DoorDash to her hotel, and under the section of healthy options, she was offered KFC, Culver's, and a salad from Domino's Pizza as options, none of which rated very high on her healthometer. I mean, that truly is a vegetable desert when those are the healthiest restaurants in town. Anyway, recently she told me that she went to Starbucks for breakfast, and she already knew from me about the high number of Nova 4, also called ultra-processed ingredients, in the red pepper sous vide egg white bites. So she chose the spinach feta wrap instead. She assumed that the Starbucks spinach feta wrap was the best she could do for a healthy breakfast on the road. And Panera soup and salad was the best she could do for lunch. While those options aren't the end of the world, let me call out a few of the ingredients that you might not realize are in the Starbucks spinach feta wrap. There's enriched wheat flour, which might sound like a good thing, but as you've probably heard me say before, when any kind of flour has the word enriched before it, that means they have stripped out all the healthy parts of the flour and then just dropped in a vitamin to make it less unhealthy. In addition to the enriched wheat flour in the spinach wrap, you'll also find soy protein isolate, soybean oil, dextrose, sugar, a mold inhibitor, xanthan gum, guar gum, liquid pepper extract, citric acid, natural flavor, lactic acid, potassium sorbate, which is a preservative, carabine gum, sulfur dioxide, and silicone dioxide, which is used to prevent caking. When you think about all of those Nova 4 ingredients, and when you know that the research shows these ingredients increase the risk of weight gain, diabetes, stroke, and certain types of cancer, you can see why Tina and I were looking for an alternative. Besides, ultra-processed foods make us hungrier. The fact that there's spinach in this wrap is wonderful. Spinach is great, but it doesn't negate the impact of the slew of Nova 4 ingredients that will make it hard to lose weight, or in Tina's case, to maintain her weight loss. Remember, this isn't a one-time travel meal for her. It's a regular stop on her work travel circuit. It's foods like this spinach wrap that often trip people up. They think they've made a healthy choice, but without looking up the ingredient list, they're unaware that this kind of food is a big chemical bomb. Of course, it's still better than many of the things in the pastry case at Starbucks, but as a regular work week breakfast item, we may be able to find something better. Before brainstorming other ideas for breakfast, we started by examining a thought that Tina expressed. She said, "In this area of my territory, I don't have a choice. There are no healthy food options here." This thought, "I don't have a choice," left her feeling helpless. She's committed to the belief that there's nothing she can do to support her health and weight while traveling in this region with so much fast food. Now that she's created the feeling of helplessness, she's likely to give up without a fight. The best she can do when feeling helpless is to choose what looks like the least bad thing from the unhealthy options. She'll essentially roll over like a turtle on her back, unable to help herself. Believe me, I'm not judging. I've been there too. We all have moments here and there when we don't prepare as well as we could have for unexpected vegetable deserts. It happens. Before we dig into intentional thoughts that Tina might choose about her ability to stay on track when traveling, let's first look at Tina's lunch at Panera, where she also tried to find something healthy. She chose the broccoli cheddar soup and the Southwest salad. The ingredients that make these foods ultra-processed include natural flavors, dextrose, sodium phosphates, xanthan gum, guar gum, lactic acid, citric acid, annatto, which is a cosmetic additive. There's some oils in there that are likely industrially produced and hexane extracted. And to be honest, I'm not 100% sure if the buttermilk solids in the salad dressing would be considered a Nova 4 ultra-processed ingredient. But I think so, because it's an ingredient also found in Doritos. So let's call that a probable ultra-processed ingredient. In Tina's case, it's worth doing some brainstorming to find other food options because she goes to the same places over and over again for work. So this problem is not just a one-off situation. Traveling weekly to this vegetable desert is a regularly scheduled interruption of her healthy routine. And if she's having ultra-processed meals from Starbucks and Panera multiple times per week, we should be able to impact her weight and her health by finding an alternative. Before we do, though, let's look at the thought Tina was having about her travels. Do you remember it? She thought, "In this area of my territory, I don't have a choice. There's no healthy food here." And that thought made her feel helpless, which did nothing to drive her to look for creative solutions. We create our own feelings of helplessness when we think thoughts like, "I don't have a choice," or "I have to eat or drink this because my colleagues are eating it." But those thoughts simply aren't true. They're thought errors. If you were allergic to peanuts and everyone else was eating peanut butter sandwiches, you would never think that you don't have a choice but to eat a peanut butter sandwich too. Sometimes it helps to get into that mindset. What if you were allergic to the food options? You might choose one of these thoughts. "Next week, I'm going to find a way to bring more healthy foods with me when I travel." Or, "Somewhere in this town, there is something that I like to eat that aligns with my goals, and I'm going to find it." Or, my ever favorite overarching thought from Marie Forleo that solves all problems. "This is figure-outable." Maybe Tina will use all three of these helpful thoughts over the next few weeks as she tries to create new healthy habits on the road. By the way, here's what's already going well for Tina. She drinks a lot of water. She brings cashew cookie Lara bars on the road, which only have 2 ingredients, dates and cashews. So that's a minimally processed snack. She tries to find anything with vegetables while traveling, which is why the spinach in the wrap, the broccoli in the soup, and the lettuce, tomato, and corn in the salad appealed to her. I consider these to be smart decisions in a locale with limited options, so I reminded her of all that she's doing well. And then I asked her to pick an intentional thought. Here's what she chose. With some planning, it's definitely possible to eat healthier when I'm traveling. That's it. It's a pretty simple thought. I'll say it again. With some planning, it's definitely possible to eat healthier when I'm traveling. And when she thought that, she felt empowered. And from there, she and I came up with 5 travel tips to support her health and weight. Before I share those, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor. Haha, just kidding. It's still me, Dr. Lisa Olson, founder of Smart Weight Loss Coaching. If you're as focused on your health as you are on the scale, you're my person. In my online program, we'll help you establish healthy habits for weight loss, better health, and longevity. For those of you who have looked at our website before, you'll be excited to see that you no longer have to commit to a 3-month program to join us. If you'd like to learn more about our affordable monthly membership, head over to smartweightlosscoaching.com. Now let's dive into the 5 travel tips for healthier eating, especially in a vegetable desert or when DoorDash considers KFC to be the healthiest option. Number 1, use the grocery store as your fast food restaurant. Tina has been with me for a long time, so this travel hack isn't news to her. However, she only looks for Whole Foods grocery stores. When she finds one, she gets food from there to keep in her hotel room and to bring to her client's site for lunch. But when there's no Whole Foods, that's when she gives up and goes to Starbucks or Panera. She decided to accept any grocery store as an alternative to fast food. Even a less fancy grocery store might be a source of baby carrots and hummus. Sabra hummus, for example, does have a couple of ultra-processed ingredients, but it might be one of those things where we don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. Other things she might consider buying at the standard grocery store: apples and a natural peanut butter, Scandinavian rye crackers and a minimally processed cheese, berries, oranges, grapefruits, and pre-cut fruits and veggies, deli turkey meat, again, not letting perfect be the enemy of the good. If she does find a Whole Foods, she could buy a grilled piece of salmon or a grilled chicken breast and put that on top of a salad that she makes at the salad bar, adding an abundance of fresh veggies, beans, lentils, or maybe a hard-boiled egg or 2. Tip number 2 is for her to bring a cooling bag with some healthy options from home. For example, she could pack a couple of sandwiches using whole grain Ezekiel toast, avocado, hard-boiled egg, onions, and sprouts. This would transport pretty well. She could slice up some tomatoes and bring those in a separate container. That way they won't get the bread soggy. Natural nut butters and apples travel well too. Just be sure to read the ingredient list to make sure there are no added oils in your nut butter. A homemade caprese salad with tomatoes, fresh mozzarella, basil, and a homemade balsamic vinegar and extra virgin olive oil dressing. Top it with salt and pepper, and this would make a lovely dinner, even in a hotel room. Tina could even bring a bag of frozen berries in her cooler bag and a box of grape nuts. Then she could buy milk when she gets to her destination. That would make for a reasonable breakfast on the road. Travel tip number 3 originally came from my dear friend Bridget, who travels a lot for work. She brings 1 bar of dark chocolate with almonds and breaks off 3 squares each night if she wants something sweet after dinner. This helps her to take a pass on dessert at a restaurant because she knows she has something small but satisfying in her hotel room that she'd rather eat. This really aligns with my belief that we benefit from planning little treats for ourselves. If we don't plan them, they'll bubble up anyway, often in an uncontrolled fashion. Tip number 4, keep a box of raisins or a small baggie of homemade trail mix in your bag, or a Larabar for those moments when you just need something slightly sweet or something to carry you through until your next meal. Lastly, travel tip number 5, set up your environment for your success. That might mean buying the perfect size cooling bag so you can truly pack a few meals for the road. In fact, my stepmom, Phyllis, has a cooler that she plugs into the USB port in her car. She brings enough food for a week when she goes on a road trip. It's amazing. Setting up your environment for success might also mean staying in a less fancy hotel, but one that has a mini kitchen with a microwave or a larger refrigerator. That might allow you to make a simple, healthy meal on the road. Even something like a veggie omelet or steel-cut oats if you have a stove. Guess what time it is, my friends? It's time for your NBA, your next best action. Be sure you grab your pen and notebook and jot down one of these ideas or something else you just thought of that will help you, whether you're traveling out of town all week or even just for a particularly long workday. There are so many ways to stay on track when you believe it's possible. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like more support during your smart weight loss journey, check out our group coaching program at smartweightlosscoaching.com. Until next time, stay well and stay smart.